Hello and welcome to the Conversation with Anastasia video series. In these videos, I will be interviewing different practitioners and experts in self-development and healing practices. So, welcome! Hello! Today in our studio we have Daria. She's a certified yoga teacher, energy healer, and Reiki practitioner. Daria, welcome!
Thank you.
And I would like to start by asking you to introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about your path towards yoga, energy healing, Reiki.
Thank you for having me here, Anastasia. Hi, my name is Daria. I'm, as you mentioned, a yoga teacher, meditation teacher, and energy healer. And a little bit about my path of how I got here. It all started for me in 2014, so 7 years ago. Actually, probably exactly 7 years ago, because I remember I had my spiritual awakening in the beginning of the fall of 2014. And it happened from me watching an obscure interview of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And they were interviewed by Dr. Wayne Dyer, who I later found out to be Dr. Wayne Dyer, who's a spiritual teacher and inspirational speaker. And I started watching his lectures, and he talked a lot about how your thoughts create your reality, and about the state of the flow, and about the Tao Te Ching. And I couldn't stop listening to him, and it felt to me like I opened up to something I'd been craving for many years, but I just didn't know existed. From there, I kind of got inspired to try out meditation. So I started doing meditation in transcendental meditation, which is the lineage of Maharishi Mahesh. And I've been doing it for many years, every day. And it actually, meditation helped me through some really challenging things in my life. And I just, at some point, realized what an important practice it is. And also at the same time, incidentally, I found the practice of yoga, because my friend invited me for a class at our gym, and it was very much like a power yoga experience where you were challenging your body, and there were some crazy arm balances and things like that. But then I tried out another teacher, and her approach was a lot more integrative, like a mind, body, spirit type of yoga practice. And I realized that there's a lot more to yoga beyond just the physical experience. And that got me really into the yoga practice. And at some point I read a book, which I really recommend if this resonates with anybody. It's a short book by Elisa Romeo. It's called Meet Your Soul. And I remember reading the book. I was sitting in a park, and I was reading the book, and I had this first very visceral experience of my soul. And it was so... At the time I didn't know it, but it was really formative, because for the first time, my whole understanding of the fabric of the world changed, because I had this experience of my higher self, which was me, but it also wasn't me, and it was that part of me that, had all the answers, and that felt really expansive, and that felt very wise and eternal. And when that happened, I realized I really want to continue pursuing practices that allowed me to have that higher connection to things and energies that were beyond me. So I kept trying different meditations on YouTube and reading a lot of different books about it. And then at some point I found energy healing, and I started getting energy healing sessions, and I got my Reiki attunement soon after, and that really opened me up to my own healing gifts and abilities, which I never knew I had. But then for a few years I was getting these really incredible and also very intense healing downloads, from which I learned how to kind of manage the energy, and how to use it for certain benefits in myself. And then I started also giving energy healing to my friends and family, and then finally opened it up to do energy healing on other people. And then I also got a master's degree in yoga studies, and got my yoga teacher training, started teaching yoga and meditation, which are wonderful practices that I love doing. So yeah, here I am today.
Thank you so much. And I would like to ask you a bit more about energy healing. How does it work? And I know there are different types of energy healings, including Reiki. So maybe you could tell a bit more about different types of them, what's the difference and how it all works?
Definitely, yeah. It's a little bit of a tricky question. I always say in my classes and to my clients who are first experiencing energy healing that the hardest part about energy healing is to explain it. But yeah, energy healing is kind of a big umbrella term for any type of practices that involve working with the subtle body. So how I explain it is there are different models of how to explain it, but basically we have our physical body, which we can touch, we can feel. Then we have our mental body, our thoughts, how we process the world around us. We have our emotional body, which is our feelings. And then we have the more subtle body, which is the energy body. It's kind of your aura, it's the more subtle ways in which you experience yourself and others. You know how sometimes you can walk into a room and you immediately see a person that you really want to talk to, or maybe you really don't want to talk to them. You just get a vibe, right? So that's one example of how our energy fields communicate without us consciously knowing that. So the way energy healing works is that you can actually, maybe manipulate is the wrong word, but you can work with the energy body to affect the way that you feel physically, mentally, emotionally. And there are a lot of different practices and a lot of different traditions talk about different type of energy practices. For instance, if you take yoga, in yoga we have the chakra system, right? And we also have the nadis, which are kind of the energy channels that go through the body. And the practice of pranayama in yoga, the breath work, it has the word prana in it, which is kind of the energy, the life force, also the breath. So for instance, breath work could be a type of energy healing practice, right? And in Chinese medicine you have qi and acupuncture or qigong, which also is a way of kind of working with your meridians and with your energy channels. And one of the practices of working with the energy body is Reiki. And Reiki is, actually if you take the word Reiki, it has Rei and Ki in it, and the Ki is the same as the Chinese Qi. So Reiki itself is it's kind of the life force energy, right? So the same life force energy that flows through everybody and everything that is alive and that is breathing and living. And Reiki as a practice is a form of channeling that life force energy through intention. Oftentimes it's done through the hands, so a lot of the times you may see or experience hands-on Reiki where the practitioner can put their hands on you and you just feel this kind of nice warmth and this life healing energy flowing through your body through the hands. So that is kind of one way of working through the energy healing. The energy healing that I do is also involves a lot of kind of channeling and intuitive healing. So I do most of my healing practice over a distance, so online, rather than in person with my hands. And there's just different ways you can use these energy practices and channel this energy for healing.
Yeah, and how did you learn energy healing and how did you learn Reiki?
That's a great question. Reiki, so the way you learn Reiki is through attunements. So what happened to me is I found a girl who did energy healing and I started getting sessions with her and I really liked her energy, if you will. And I decided to get a Reiki attunement kind of just for myself to kind of for a self-development practice. And I got an attunement for Reiki 1 and for Reiki 2. And for Reiki 1, the way it happens is you literally get like a kind of like how do I explain it? It's kind of like a transmission of energy, right? And for the Reiki 2, you're also given specific symbols that you can work with, and each symbol is each symbol has its own kind of powers and dedicated to certain things. To be honest, I don't personally use the symbols in my practice. I mean, I used them a little bit in the beginning, but I'm not very deeply in the Reiki school of thought, so to say. But I know that a lot of people do use those symbols. So for me, the whole energy healing journey started with Reiki, and when I got my attunement, then I started receiving a lot of healing downloads in my body and through meditations, and I kind of learned through my own personal experience the ways that I can work with energy and the ways that I can direct it, and use my intention to kind of guide this healing life force energy in different ways. I don't know if I answered your question. I kind of forgot what the question was.
You did. So you learned energy healing first of all through Reiki, and then it started to develop as your ability that you have inside you.
Yeah.
To help other people and help yourself. So would you say that actually everyone has healing abilities inside, and that everyone, if they develop these abilities, can heal themselves and heal other people?
Yeah, absolutely. I do believe that everybody has healing abilities. I mean, we're all living, breathing beings, and we all have this access to the healing energy that's within us. And I do believe that anybody can do energy healing, whether you do have any form of training or attunement or you don't. And I do think that some people are more interested in and maybe more like prone to it than others. I would give an analogy of playing a guitar. Anybody can learn to play guitar, but some people might enjoy it more, some people might pick it up faster. So, but definitely everybody has healing abilities, and it also depends on the person. Some people channel it differently. I know some folks who have told me that since they were little kids, and maybe that's somebody's experience who's listening, they could feel that, or they could sense that when they put their hands on a pet or a loved one, that they somehow were healing them. So that's a big sign that that's just one of your gifts. And for other people, maybe the healing comes more through the voice, through singing. For others, it might be through painting, or I don't know, through making some medicines, or through science. Anyone can do healing in all kinds of ways, depending on what you are more drawn to. So yeah, I do believe that we're all we're all healers.
Yeah, and maybe we could do a practice now to feel our healing abilities inside us, and the practice that people can use in everyday life.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We can do a short practice, and we'll just do it in the form of a little bit of a guided meditation. So yeah, if you're ready, let's close the eyes, finding a comfortable seat somewhere. And let's start all together with a deep breath in through the nose, and a long breath out of the mouth. Taking a moment to settle here. And as you let your breath come back to its natural rhythm, begin to bring your awareness to your heart. In yoga, we may call the heart center the Anahata Chakra, and this is the place of unconditional love and compassion. Many traditions say that the seat of the soul is in the heart. Taking a moment to feel your heart, perhaps noticing a heartbeat. And as you breathe on the inhale, I invite you to feel, see, or visualize that there's a bright light shining in your heart. And it can be any color. Maybe it's golden, maybe it's pink, emerald green. And as you breathe, allow this light to shine a little brighter. Shining brighter on the inhale, and on the exhale, allow this light to begin to flow from your heart into your body, filling your body and flowing into your arms and through the elbows, your forearms, wrists, into the palms of your hands. And they say that the hands are the extension of the heart. So maybe you feel some warmth in the palms of your hands. Maybe you feel some tingling. Bring your palms together right now and rub them together just to create some heat. And keep seeing this light flowing from your heart into your hands. And then place your hands somewhere on your body where you feel you need a little bit of love, a little support. If you have a headache, you may place it on your head. If you have some soreness in the shoulders, maybe the shoulders, maybe the heart, maybe your belly, anywhere where it feels appropriate. Don't think about it, just let your hands land somewhere intuitively. And see how that light from your hands, as it's coming from the heart, is pouring into that body part. Just flowing, beautiful light, filling up every cell. You feel the heat that's coming from your hands. And just allow this light to flow and trust the intelligence of your body to know how long you would like to stay here this way. And just notice how that feels. Maybe you feel some physical sensations, maybe you see something, maybe you hear something. And you can stay here as long as you would like, or you can place your hands on a different part of the body. And then when you feel like you're ready, you can bring your hands together once again and rub your palms together. And then release. You can open your eyes when you're ready. I also like to kind of shake my hands out a little bit afterwards.
That is such great practice. Thank you a lot. So it means that we can heal our parts of the body from our heart. By this visualization.
That's one way. I mean, I like to, when I do any type of energy healing, I like to connect with that part of me that is, to put it simply, like unconditionally loving. So I think a heart is just a great place to connect with that part of yourself.
Yeah. Thank you a lot. So people can practice it whenever they want to.
Yeah, it's a great thing to practice, even if, if you're not feeling well or if you're having a hard time falling asleep, you can just take a few moments to do this before bed or when you feel like you need a little more support.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So if someone wants to learn more about energy healing, Reiki, develop healing abilities inside themselves, what steps would you recommend them to do?
I would kind of go with your gut. If you're drawn to a certain practitioner or if you're drawn to a certain teacher, maybe a book or anything, like if you feel that kind of like spark inside you, I would just say follow that. I think it's always great to find, if you're new to it, I think it's always great to find a practitioner that you really resonate with and get some sessions, get a kind of a sense of what it's like to receive healing. And I always recommend everybody who feels interested in this to get a Reiki attunement, because both for me and for a number of people that I talk to about it, Reiki attunements, even if the person doesn't really practice Reiki, just getting the Reiki attunement, it really is a great way to activate your healing gifts and abilities. So if you kind of, if you're looking for something to do to start this journey, I would definitely recommend Reiki, and just finding a person that you like, that you resonate with, and I would really trust trust your body on it. Like if the person is your person, it's just gonna feel really good in your body. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the recommendations. And I know you do work with clients. How can people get energy healing from you?
So if you'd like to work with me in that way and get energy healing, you can visit my website, dariagrigorieva.com. And You can book a one-on-one healing session with me. I also do through my meetup, which is also linked in my website, or you can find me in Meetup Yoga with Daria. I do sometimes group healing sessions, also yoga classes if you're interested. And one easy way to experience some energy healing from me is through my videos on YouTube. I do a lot of different Reiki videos on YouTube, which is a really fun way to experience energy healing just because it's very simple. You can just play the video and you will be receiving the energy. So yeah, that's how you can find me if you would like to work with me.
Thank you a lot. So thank you for sharing your experience with us and all your knowledge about energy healing. So thank you a lot.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for following Conversations with Anastasia video series. See you next time. Stay healthy and love.